All right, let's talk about the most incredible supercomputer in the known universe. And guess what? It's sitting right inside your head. Today we're diving into 10 amazing facts you probably didn't know about your brain. Let's get into it. So let's start with a really simple question. Who's really in charge of you? I mean, when you decide to get up and walk, or you suddenly feel happy, or even when you're just breathing without thinking about it, who's pulling the strings?
Yup, it's your brain. It is the absolute boss, the CEO of you Inc. It controls everything. We're talking blinking, breathing, your deepest thoughts, even your craziest dreams. And here's the kicker. It never, ever takes a day off. Even when you're completely knocked out, your brain is still in there, running the whole show.
All right, so we know who's in charge, but let's talk about raw power. I mean, just how fast and powerful is this thing really? You might be surprised. The numbers are pretty mind-blowing.
Just look at that number. Messages are zipping from your brain to your body at over 250 miles per hour. That's about 400 kilometers per hour. We're talking about an information superhighway that's active every single second of your life.
So to put that into perspective for you, that is faster than a high-performance race car. I mean, way faster. The signal from your brain to say wiggle your little toe, it gets there pretty much instantly. It's just incredible.
And it's not just about speed either. Get this. Your brain actually produces its own electricity. It's basically a little power plant. Every single thought, every memory, every move you make, it's all powered by this little electrical grid inside your head.
And all that buzzing and firing? Well, it adds up. Believe it or not, when you're awake, your brain generates enough electricity to power a small LED light bulb. So you've literally got a light bulb's worth of energy just from thinking. Okay, so we've covered its power. Now let's get into what this inner living machine is actually made of. What are its components? And what does it need to keep running? You might think it's made of some super complex, mysterious substance, right? Well, for all its complexity, about 75% of your brain is just water. Plain old H2O. Which, is exactly why doctors are always telling us to stay hydrated. Even being a little bit dehydrated can seriously mess with your focus.
And check this out. Your brain is tiny, right? It's only about 2% of your body's weight, but it is an absolute energy hog. It sucks up a whopping 20% of the oxygen and calories you take in. So for such a small package, it has a massive appetite.
So what's doing all this work? Well, at the heart of it all are your neurons. And you don't just have a few million, you have 86 billion of them. Let that sink in, 86 billion. That is a truly astronomical number of brain cells packed inside your skull.
And you can think of each one of those 86 billion neurons as a tiny messenger. They're constantly firing, sending signals back and forth, creating this massive, beautiful network that keeps everything, and I mean everything, running smoothly.
So, we've talked power, we've talked parts, but here's where it gets really amazing. It's how all this stuff comes together to create a universe inside you. How your brain literally creates the world you experience every day.
So how does it learn anything new? It's pretty cool, actually. Every time you learn a new skill, doesn't matter if it's speaking a new language or just learning to juggle, your neurons build new pathways. You're literally rewiring your brain. It's kind of like installing a brand new app onto your phone, but for your mind.
And what about when you're asleep? Well, that's when your brain turns into a movie director. Your dreams are basically mini movies that your brain produces every night. It just grabs little pieces of your memories, random thoughts, and a dash of imagination, and mashes it all together into these wild, sometimes weird stories. So, when you put it all together, all those unique pathways you've built, all the apps you've installed, you get something that is 100% unique. Just like your fingerprint, your brain is completely, totally one of a kind. Seriously, no two are exactly the same, not even in identical twins. Okay, we've gone through some pretty wild stuff, but I've saved the weirdest and maybe the most surprising fact for last. So think about it, this amazing organ controls everything you see, hear, and feel. But what's the one thing the brain itself actually can't do?
It can't feel pain. No, really. The brain is the thing that tells you when your finger hurts, but it has zero pain receptors of its own. It processes pain signals from everywhere else, but it can't feel a thing itself. That's why surgeons can actually operate on a person's brain while they're awake. How wild is that?
So let's just wrap up with this thought.
You have this one-of-a-kind supercomputer in your head. It's faster than a race car, it builds your entire reality from scratch, and it's totally unique in the entire universe. So the big question is, what are you going to do with it?